Welcome back, everybody, to the San Diego Surf MyLeague Expansion series. It's time for the offseason. The offseason coming after our first season in team history. We went 31-51, I believe had the fourth worst record in the NBA, and came on strong in the second half of the season, largely thanks to rookie Casey Daniels. We built a foundation this year, I feel, with Daniels late in the season, Malcolm Brogdon all year as the starting point guard. Frederick Wilcox was our first draft pick in the series, and he had a very good season up until his high ankle sprain. Still came back and did all right. Jay Crowder, we traded for him, but now he is a free agent. I like that this is all updated now, and a lot of these players are set to hit the market, like Bolden, Bradley, Mason, Chandler, Looney, Smith. Oh, this is pretty cool. Rookie of the Month. Casey Daniels actually won this once. Frederick Wilcox won it the last month where Daniels wasn't playing as much. He did get hurt. I don't know if I can check on Rookie of the Year, though. I'm imagining that Sparks won it. Yeah, from here it looks like he was named the best rookie in the NBA. All right, he is now an 85 overall. I wonder what he was the day he was drafted. I could go back to episode 1 and find out. But there it is, Rookie of the Year, Julian Sparks. He was the #1 overall pick. I'm hoping we can make the #1 selection this year, but we are not going to have the best lottery odds. So I'll just have to see where things end up. Oh, Wilcox actually has some negative morale because of being snubbed for Rookie of the Year. That's actually really cool, this whole morale dynamic. I want this in Madden so bad. He was named first team all-rookie, so there is one award for us. That's pretty cool. I love all these stats and all the stuff you can go back to find out. So I briefly went through retirements last episode. Here are the top players that have left the NBA. Their careers are over. On to league meetings. I don't want any new rules to take place right now. We have a year until the new CBA. I can't even fathom CBAs being in my sports video games. This sounds like so advanced. I'm not even sure what it'll be like in 2K, but it's so cool. But none of these were actually accepted, so I'm probably... Oh, actually, this one I might want to accept, because I believe this is how the real life is going to go. Alright, right now, 2019 NBA Draft Lottery odds. New York, Cleveland, and Phoenix all have 14% for #1. Alright, I'm going to accept this, then. I'm going to approve it. League realignment. I know there was one thing I did last year. I moved somebody out of their division so we could take their spot. I have no idea why the Thunder are down there and why the Kings are up here, but I guess I will fix that up and get the Kings in the Pacific. And now it's time for the draft lottery, everybody. All right, we have a 10.4% chance to win the lottery. I like those odds. We only have the 5th best odds, actually. The Celtics, via the Clippers, have the 3rd or the 4th best. So we have a shot. Give me top 3 this year. I do like that it goes in reverse order here. It helps build up a little tension. Hopefully we don't see our team pop up earlier than expected. I don't know how all the protected stuff works, though, and all the whatnot with the draft lottery rules. I'm not used to this. I'm just going to see where it ends up. So, Portland, Brooklyn. All right, I'm not sure there are any surprises so far, but we'll obviously be picking in the top 10. And it's the Pacers at number 10. At number 9, the Minnesota Timberwolves will be selecting. I want to say they were like right behind us, and the odds are pretty close. I kind of wish I saved the screenshot of where everything was before in terms of the odds. But so far, so good. If we can do better than 5th place, then we win, essentially. Number 6, the Washington Wizards. So we're either going to be at our projection or better. So we're not getting unlucky this year. And the Surf will be selecting at number 5. Okay. So we're probably not going to be able to select Sean Cannon, who was by far your favorite player in the draft. And obviously, if we had the #1 pick, he'd likely be the selection. So I've got to figure out who else I like. I know that I shouldn't be going after players in, you know, their mid-20s this time around. I think Wilcox was like 23 when I selected him. Hopefully we can find a young star to build around, though. That's all I'm hoping. So the Miami Heat have won the draft lottery this year. They will be likely selecting Sean Cannon. Oh wait, I thought when there were 2 left, they would reveal like who was number 1. Never mind. The Bulls have won the lottery. We played against the Bulls a couple times this year, so no major surprises then in terms of the lottery results. Alright, so now I have to sign my staff, and I was told I should go after the best trainer possible for maximum development. So I believe to do anything here, I have to actually fire my trainer, Justin Powell. B+ training, C+ potential. I don't want to mess anything up, but I guess I have to fire him if I want to hire a higher rated trainer. Alright, well I accidentally simmed a day and all the really good trainers were hired, so I like Powell's training at B+. I'm just going to try to bring him back and act like we never fired him. Alright, the offseason's out to a great start. I haven't made any mistakes yet. The Surfs trainer has uncovered an injury concern with Nico Samunik and is back. He considers it serious and suggests that you do not draft him. Well, thank you for the information. Oh wow, Barney Higgins, 20 out of 25 on the standing NBA 3, 8 out of 25 on the moving 3-point shot. Higgins could be somebody we end up selecting. I know that he is 23. You'd like somebody a little younger with more upside potentially, but we'll just have to see after the first 4 go who's left. Rudolph Peeler's another interesting player. I like that he hit a lot of shots here. He plays center, he led in bench, and he's got C+ offense, C defense. Alright, so we have 12 available invites for pre-draft workouts. We will invite Barney Higgins. I think we'll also invite Rodney Kane. We've talked about him. Those 2 are both 23. Looking at these ratings, I really like Pedro Costa. I don't think I've focused much on him during the season, but he seems to be a really solid player, and he's 19, so we'll invite him as well. A- perimeter defense for Lynn Galtieri. Okay, that'll catch my attention. B potential. What do we have for comparisons on him? Corey Brewer is the ceiling. Isn't Corey Brewer like on a 10-day or something? Alright, we gotta invite Jonathan Shays. It says here A potential. I'm not sure if that's just like a projection. Obviously, it's not a number, so I think of it as a projection, but that'll still catch my attention. So here we have our workouts then. Doug Bridges here at the top. Seems like he has some decent shooting ability for a center. He's 20 years old from Bradley. And his offense doesn't appear to be very good, very below average. And it's his rebounding that's good. He has high potential, so I'm just trusting that a lot of you guys are saying that the potential rating is important. So I'm going after players who hopefully have a lot of potential. Sean Cannon, kind of disappointing here on, oh no, never mind. I was thinking this was the short, or the standing 15. Nah, he's a good shooter. I think he'll go top 3. I'm not sure if he'll go number 1, but he might. I'm really interested now in Pedro Costa, though. I think that... Oh, they do have numbers here. So, like, is the potential that they're showing, like, is that literally his potential rating? Like, are we being told right there 75 is it? For Cannon here, it says 91. What was the letter grade? That's an A. 91 potential for Jonathan Shays. I don't think he would be a first-round player, though. There's also Yi, who has always intrigued me here with his ratings. He can hit the 3, and I like these versatile forwards a lot. So it's going to be tough. I'm kind of glad the draft is the first thing we do so I can fill in the gaps later in free agency. But this is definitely a little tricky for me. How about Barney Higgins, who has been mocked to us quite a bit? Obviously a dominant shooter, and that would be a fun addition to our team for sure. His potential's not that high, so that's a little concerning. But But there are the numbers from the team workout compared to the draft combine. And now I guess it's time, everybody. Can I not fail the NBA draft? Here we go, everybody. We're in picking number 5. And really? Courtney Galloway? Who's that? I'm not even sure I scouted him. Well, he's a guard, so I didn't scout too many guards. But that's not Sean Cannon. Now it's the Heat on the clock, and they take Cannon. Okay. 6'8", 230 pounds. Yeah, he's going to be maybe the star to come out of this draft, but I didn't know anything about Galloway. And I thought Cannon was like the #1 guy. Jamal Wheeler is up next. And he is a shooting guard out of Baylor. And then the Boston Celtics, they take Simon McGuire. So I think this falls favorably for us with 4 guards off the board. Now we get the pick of, I think, some really good players. We can take Higgins, who is the highest rated player. There's also Rodney Kane, Pedro Costa, who is 19 years old. So the highest rated players left are like all small forwards. They can all shoot the 3. When it comes to potential, though, Rodney Kane has the highest by far, A-. He also has 7 badges, which is more than these other small forwards. So Rodney Kane, what would he offer to us? He's 6'9", 227, small forward / power forward. We had so many different players play small forward for us this season, so this would help solidify things a little bit. The issue here is just that he's a below average defender, but I guess I can't just take a defender here with my first pick, and I've got to make this one count. I like this a lot. 90 contested mid-range, and I get myself into some bad contested situations. I feel like we don't have much of a mid-range presence on our team, so somebody like Kane would open that up a little bit. Higgins, in comparison, is better closer to the basket, and his mid-range game is not anywhere near as good. He is a better three-point shooter, though. He can really hit the open 3. 98. That's tough to pass on for sure. Defense here is also going to be very below average outside of stealing. So in that case, Higgins or Kane? Kane has the potential. I think he also gives us some skills that I'm looking for that differentiate the offense a little bit. If Costa had higher potential, I'd love to take him, but if it's saying 75 and that's what he is, well, I need him to get a little bit better. There's a great starting point with Costa offensively, and then you get down to defense, and I don't think it's going to be horrible, but he needs more development, and I just think that Kane offers perhaps the best skill set. Here's Lynn Galtieri, though. He is not a very good mid-range shooter. He can shoot threes and get layups for you, but I think that Kane's skill set is still way more enticing right now. Although Galtieri is a much better defender, it would appear. If we sort by potential, though, then Yee becomes the top player along with Lyle Cannon. Yee can play both forward spots. His shooting isn't amazing. It's not bad. His open shot 3 is good, but there are so many players that can hit the open 3, so it doesn't really separate you. I've selected Rodney Kane with the 5th pick in the 2020 NBA draft. You can let me know what you think of that pick. Basically, I like where Kane differentiates from our other players in terms of how he scores, and I like that he had the high potential. Barney Higgins goes next to the Washington Wizards. You could have argued that we should have taken Higgins, and obviously, he's one of the best three-point shooters in this class. Next up, the Kings. They take Stan Kane. Now, I wonder if there's anybody I like that's going to be available for our 2nd pick, which should be like 30 picks from now. There were some players like they're 67 overall or closer to 70, but I don't really know how the rest of the draft unfolds. After all the stars really go, I'm not sure really how to project the draft from there. We have a trade to announce. A 1st round pick and Doug McDermott for the first round pick of the Hawks and Enes Kanter. The Hawks give up their next year's first round pick. They move up. Who do they want to select so badly? Oh wow, that's a fun move. I want to see how good Yi turns out because I was intrigued by him the entire time. I think my dream scenario here is that we can end up with somebody like Jonathan Shays, a good center, but I don't know how realistic that's going to be. Pedro Costa ends up going here at 15 to Brooklyn. The Hawks select again and go Rudolph Peeler, another good center prospect. Obviously, players can have high potential, but what exactly in-game gets them to their potential? I'm sure it's like playing well, getting good off-season development, a good mentor. I don't know how all that works. So it's just interesting to see a high-potential player go so late, but I don't know how it all develops. Another good pick for Atlanta. I liked him. They have 3 first-round picks this year. The Force are on the clock now, and they take Doug Bridges out of Bradley. I believe he was the 20-year-old center I liked a lot. So the options, if I want to address center, are starting to disappear. And there goes Jonathan Shays. It's not looking good for me right now. But I did do a fair amount of scouting, I believe, on players who would be a good second-round pick. Last year, I nailed the Casey Daniels selection, but what's going to happen this time? Julio Payne going to the Knicks. Leave a center for me, please. I'm only a few picks away. Artie Grimes going to the Bulls. I don't know if I scouted him. I imagine I did at least a little bit. And then Matthew Hammonds goes to the Clippers. We're on the clock. And there's Alexi Edwin. I forgot about him. I was a fan of his. We do have some players, fully scouted. A handful at least. Alexi Edwin is the highest overall right now. He's 20 years old. And where do we see that? The aggregate potential is a B-. So not phenomenal. Dante Stanley has the highest potential on the board, and he plays center as well. 71 potential, though, does not seem very good. I believe you can increase potential with the right trainers, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure when a 71 was considered a B-. I guess the grading scales have changed a little bit. I like Edwin's skill set, though. If I mess this pick up, I'm not too worried about it. I'll learn as I go. I like Alexi Edwin. He's our selection. What do they say? Say something good. I love this pick for the Surf. Alexi Edwin is easily the best interior defender in this class, and he will quickly become one of the best in the NBA. That's what I'm talking about. Difference makers in the second round. So there are the draft results. Number 1 pick, Courtney Galloway. I don't know anything about him. I guess I did not scout him because of his position. He's also 24 years old. Cannon went to the Heat, though. That'll be fun to watch out for this next year. I like how simple it is to do contracts here, too. I have negative cap space. What's cap hold? I don't understand this. But accept. Team and player options. Obviously, I want to accept the option for Casey Daniels. And Tony Bradley and Jonah Bolden also had options. I'm going to decline the option on Tony Bradley because we just drafted a center that I think will take his minutes. Jonah Bolden, though, I think I'm going to be happy to keep him on the team. Where's his per 36? 13 points, 11 rebounds. Yeah, I like Bolden at least as a backup. Bradley last year, I don't think he played a ton. I guess his per 36 isn't bad either. But I still think that we'll be okay moving forward with these players. And here are the results of the other options in the NBA. Looks like Julius Randle's hitting the open market. We'll have to think about any free agent moves I can make today. Mike Conley hits the market. Most of these options have been accepted, so I don't think... Well, there probably will be a couple big names hitting the market, I'd have to imagine. But I guess we'll just have to get there. Qualifying offers. I have to Google what that means. All right, this has to do with restricted free agents and everything. So I like Frank Mason. I'll give him the qualifying offer. Wesley Owandu. I didn't really let him play much last year. I think he played in the G League. Do you have G League stats? He's not even happy here. Maybe we'll just let him go. He has like no morale. Frank Mason, meanwhile, he loves it here. Moratorium, day 1 of 3. Oh, during this period, you'll be signing players to fill out your team. Teams over the salary cap can still sign players using their mid-level exception. Ben Simmons hit the market, everybody. Should we go after him at $25 million a season? Julius Randle and others. But it looks like pretty much all the big names, if there were any available, already got signed. Plus, Simmons is only a restricted free agent. We only have 8 players under contract right now. We have 2 point guards, Mills and Daniels, Malcolm Brogdon, Rodney Kane, Wilcox and Bolden, Dedmon and Edwin. So we've got to sign like 7 players right now. I also could look to trade Patty Mills and acquire some picks. We could get a first-round pick from a team like the Sixers, although I think I want to trade with a worse team. I'm not going to do that right now, but I do want to know why it says we have negative $10 million in cap space. That seems rather impossible and incorrect. Jonas Valanciunas is one of the most interesting players here to me to go after. He could be an immediate starting center, would make it possible to trade Dedmon or play him at power forward or something else. What do I do right now? I'm not sure. Yeah, I've been wanting a defender with these kind of ratings. I've got to at least take a shot here at Valanciunas. We could offer him a no trade clause. We could try to make this more player friendly. Not sure if it scores the offers here like in Madden, because that'd be helpful. Let's give him a 3-year offer though. I'd love to bring him in. Okay, the reason why it's showing that negative cap space is because of all the money that we aren't actually paying. Like the near $20 million to Miles Plumlee. I might still want to bring back Kevon Looney. I do like his skill set a lot. I think Crowder is a little too expensive for us to consider. So we have plenty of space here to add some players. Like I said, I want to get better defensively this year, so having Michael Kidd-Gilchrist come off the bench would be interesting. Man, it's so weird having to pay backups this kind of money though. I'm not used to this. And I guess I only have like 2 offers remaining for some reason. I don't know how well that works, but maybe I'll find someone else. I think Taurean Prince would be a good player to add though. He does have some good mid-range game here and some shooting, and is at least like an average defender, it would seem. Looks like he'd be a good addition. We can go with a 2-year deal and maybe consider like a team option in case I don't like it after the first season. So let's offer that. Another player I'd like to sign for his defense is Andre Roberson, who doesn't have the most complete skill set in terms of the offense, but I really want to get better defensively this year. And if I can get, you know, just a couple good defenders, I'll be happy. So what do we have here? Valanciunas, status agree. I know there was some confusing stuff the first time I did this. So renounce rights. Okay, I think I see what's happening here. We're like really low on cap space. So I can't exactly keep all these players if I sign these guys up at the top. So maybe I'll decline the Prince deal, but I'll have like a cap hold on Mason. I'd like to keep him. We could also just try to keep Kevon Looney here. We left with a little bit of cap space, not much. So what happens here if I skip to the next day? I can offer to more players, but I think we have a deal like in place with Valanciunas. And he's been signed. Okay, so those deals are done then. We have a brand new starting center. We have a new backup guard in Andre Roberson. And I can look at perhaps trading Dwayne Dedmon or letting him be someone who comes off the bench to play a little bit. But I think Valanciunas is a really good addition to our starting lineup. I'm really happy getting him. I could have also gone after Julius Randle. Valanciunas was just going to be a little bit cheaper and offer that really high-level defense that I wanted. So I had to go with him. Frank Mason has accepted the qualifying offer, and it looks like free agency has now come to an end. So here's a look at the roster right now. Malcolm Brogdon at the top with Jonas Valanciunas at 28 years old, Frederick Wilcox, Dwayne Dedmon, Rodney Kane, Casey Daniels. That's only 11 players, so we do have room for more. I thought we'd be keeping someone like J.R. Smith. I'm not sure if he just signed a deal and I didn't see it because I thought we'd have a chance to match or something like that. I don't know. Well, let's get to player progression then. And Jonas Valanciunas, better inside defense now. That's great. Casey Daniels, +8 in overall. Daniels just became the same overall as Frederick Wilcox. His inside game went up. His mid-range game is up. All his scoring is. Looks like almost his entire skill set got better. Wilcox also improved a couple overall points, but wow, Daniels really rose with 8. That's impressive. Dedmon's offense got a little bit worse as he ages. Jonah Bolden, a lot of that playing time seems to have paid off. Do these players have any more badges? They have to. Daniels did not have 9 badges as a rookie. Catch and shoot is now a silver for him. This is pretty cool. I like this. Anybody else get better? Roberson got worse. Mason a little bit better. Mills got worse. Yeah, I want to trade him probably. Maybe next episode I will. All right, simulating the Summer League. It looks like we are the 8th team in the Summer League. That's pretty good, I think. The Surf are eliminated in our first game. Okay, so we lose to the Knicks, and your Summer League champion is the Atlanta Hawks, who had 3 first-round picks. All-Star City selection. I guess it's going to be in Phoenix this year. Okay, that's fine. And now the rookies. I was hoping I could still edit the slider. I didn't realize it was already going to generate the class right now. So I guess I'm doing auto-generate, and I probably can't really affect this class. That's a weird time. Well, I guess the 2K Hoop Summit is up next. Okay. So simulate that. Training camps. 2 of them are available. What do we want to do this year? Untapped potential? We can do untapped potential for Frederick Wilcox. His potential goes from a B+ to an A-. And I think I'd also like to do untapped potential to Casey Daniels. So Daniels is now an A- potential. We're really focusing on those 2. I don't think I can do anything else. Only 2. It's a lot like those mini camps in like the PS2 era Maddens I liked so much. And then I guess on to next season. So I've done it. There is the off season. Before starting the next season, all teams must have at least 14 players ready to suit up. You may always sign a free agent to the minimum if necessary. Do you want to have players signed for incomplete rosters? No, because that includes my team. All right, so we're going to sign some players now. We'll start with Royce O'Neal, a 1-year contract for him. We've signed Nick Stauskas to a 1-year contract. And let's sign DeAndre Bembry. And here we go. Looks like it skips past the preseason, I believe. And we'll open the year against the Orlando Magic. All right, we have our team for this year, everybody. What do you think of it? Do we have a good team? Are we ready to play this year? Obviously, I want Casey Daniels to play a lot this season. Brogdon, no, he's not a 6th man. All right, so there's a simple look at what I want to do this season. I'm not sure who's going to start at small forward. We could play the rookie Rodney Kane there right away and see what he's able to do. Right now it has me putting in Royce O'Neal. Not sure if I want him to start, actually. You can leave your feedback, though, down below in the comments. I think that's going to bring us to the end here. Now, I like the team that we have, but I'm sure there are a lot of things that I could have probably done better. I don't think I could have really gone over the salary cap because I wasn't signing players that I'd already had on the team. So I think that I handled this about as well as I could have, but maybe there are some things you can let me know that would have been better. And why? Courtney Lee, is this dead money? I'm just going to assume it is. Yeah, it is dead cap. All right, so we're still worrying about that. Dead cap is not good. But I like our team. I like that we got better defensively. I like the addition of Jonas Valanciunas. We haven't really focused on him a ton, but Valanciunas is a 7-footer who's been in the league now for 8 years. He can do the pick and pop, the pick and roll. Looks like he'll be able to be a better down-low presence for us on the offensive side and on the defensive side, so I'm really happy about that. Dedmon coming off the bench also, like if he's rolling with the second team, I think we can dominate with him there if we don't trade him. Valanciunas is coming off a year where he averaged 17 points a game and 9 rebounds, and I'm really happy with this move being our big one this offseason. And we're working on getting Casey Daniels' morale up. He's currently disturbed with the situation right now. I don't know why he's so unhappy. This is a good fit, Casey. I promise. And I guess one of the things I could do here is set up Alexi Edwin to be mentored by Jonas Valanciunas. I know I've asked this before, but is this feature broken? Because whenever I leave and come back, like I've obviously said, yes, I want this to happen, but it just doesn't show any feedback here. So it doesn't seem like the feature works at all. Alright everybody, that is going to bring us to the end of this episode. Year 2 is set to begin. I'm looking forward to your feedback here on the offseason and what you think about it. Please leave a like if you are enjoying the series so far and if you are excited for the second year of the series. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you know when the next episodes are posted. And I'll see you all again soon with more surf basketball. Have a great day.